Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the Prepare to Repair show. I am your host, Steve Suarez with RJ Graham Plumbing. Joining me today in studio is Alan Rutherford, Senior Sales Project Manager with Southwest Fireplace. With temperature dropping, you know what that means, Alan. 'Tis the season.
That's correct, Steve.
So now people are going to start lighting. They're going to start lighting their getting fires going, setting out their fireplaces, and what do we do?
Yeah, 'tis the season. You're just starting to get into that cold weather, and you're wanting to use your fireplace. So what do? Well, you got to get your fireplace checked out and serviced and ready for the year. Southwest Fireplace provides service to get your fireplace up and running for the year.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about Southwest Fireplace.
Yeah, Southwest Fireplace, we have 3 locations located in Palos Park, Frankfort, and Aurora. We service wood-burning fireplaces, direct vent gas fireplaces, vent-free systems, wood stoves, you name it. Anything that burns, we'll take care of it.
And you're out of Frankfort. That's where I met you.
That's correct. Out of the Frankfort location. That's our headquarters. And we've been there for about 17 years now.
Excellent. And so what is what exactly does Southwest Fireplace do as far as what's the extent of, you don't just sell fireplaces, obviously.
No, we'll cater to retail and builders as far as fireplaces. We'll provide doors, direct vent fireplaces, gas inserts, gas logs. We do mason work as well. You're looking for a new reface on your fireplace, we provide that. Mantles, anything that deals with the fireplace. And we also provide grill islands and outdoor grill items if you want.
Really?
So we service quite a bit.
Oh, fantastic. Now, I met you based on an experience I had. And originally I came into your store, spoke to you. This was probably last year, maybe a year and a half ago. It was during winter, and I saw this gadget because I have a wood-burning fireplace in my house, and I saw this little gadget that was supposed to transfer the heat from a wood-burning fireplace to the rest of the house. And I said, and I was asking you about that, and you kind of like looked at me and said, that doesn't work. And I'm like, okay, I saw it on the internet. It has to work. So, and you said, no, that doesn't work. And he proceeded to tell me about wood-burning fireplaces. And do you want to give a little bit of information about kind of what you told me about gadgets like those?
Absolutely. First and foremost, most customers, they'll come in really not knowing exactly what their fireplaces can do for them. Most part, wood-burning fireplaces are inefficient. You got to think about it when you open that damper up. It's an open window, and most people are looking for heat from their fireplace. And I tell them all the time, like, listen, once you open that damper, most of that heat is going straight up through your chimney system, and you're sucking the air from your house up through this chimney system. And we provide solutions for putting heat back into your house with safety, ease, and convenience. So they're called gas inserts. They're highly efficient, easy to use, safe to use, remote controlled. They're able to produce heat into your house, so you can control that temperature if you want with a thermostat. You got a fan system that helps blow that out. You'll get a new door, a new look. And you'll no longer have to worry about damper or wood or smoke coming back into your house.
Okay. Yeah, see, my opinion of, and I formed it in 2005 on an old house I had that had the gas fireplace. I thought these things were cool. You don't have to worry about wood. You don't have to worry. And I ran the gas. I ran the fireplace. Then I got the bill. I never ran that thing again.
Yes, especially with gas prices going up the way they are. People are looking to supplement and be more cost efficient with what they're doing on their gas. These gas inserts are at 74% efficiency. Your wood-burning fireplace is 15%. These gas inserts will supplement that heat into your house your furnace isn't working that hard. It's producing heat back into your home. Those chilly nights when you really don't need the furnace on, well, you put the gas insert on, and that will produce heat and take that chill off in that room. And it'll help you save on your bills.
Now, they've come a long way since in the 15 years. Because that one, like I said, it didn't seem like it was really all that efficient at all. It just seemed like it just wasted a lot of money. That's why it wasn't used. And I'm sure there's people out there that probably have similar things that says, yeah, I like my fireplace, but it's just, it was costly to run. So, but now you're saying they've come a long way since then, the gas fireplaces.
Yeah. And the technology has improved quite a bit over the years. There are now IPI systems, which is intermittent pilot ignition systems, which means it's gas on demand. You don't have a pilot light running at all times and wasting gas when you're not using.
Okay.
So when you do turn these on, it'll light up the pilot light automatically for you, turn on the flame, so that way when you do use it, it's efficient. The systems that you're talking about are gas logs, which is kind of like a wood-burning fireplace. You still have to open the damper. You light up your gas logs.
Okay.
And that's designed for ambiance. You're not concerned about heat. You're just looking for the look. By getting a gas insert, you're rethinking that fireplace output. You want heat back into the house.
Okay.
So that's why you're seeing that gas bill is rising and higher than normal, because it burns quite a bit hotter and more fuel consumption.
Right.
Or these gas inserts are more efficient.
Okay, so that one was just basically more for the ambiance rather than the actual usefulness of the unit.
Correct.
Now, another thing that I found, and you called right off the bat before I even said anything, and when I was talking to you and I told you the house, I told you how old it was, and you said, let me guess, you're getting smoky. I said, yeah. How did you know? He goes, and then you went in and you were telling me exactly that the newer houses, they're well insulated, so they're not getting any air from inside the house to force the air up the chimney. So you can explain that?
Yeah, correct. A lot of times now our houses are insulated very well. We have good windows. They're more airtight than they ever have been before. And that fireplace acts like a way to release air pressure into the home. So sometimes your chimney system can actually draw in air from that fireplace back into the house. We see that quite a bit, where if the chimney wasn't built properly, if it wasn't built tall enough, the smoke shelf wasn't built low enough to roll that smoke back in, you'll get that backdraft of smoke come back in the house, especially when you have a fire that is dying down. That cold air from that chimney system is beating that heat, and that cold air is going to force in that smoke later in that evening when the fire is dying out.
Right. Yeah, that's not a good thing to happen. And also I found out with mine, I had it cleaned out, because I've been in the house for 2 years. I had it cleaned out and had it inspected. The first person told me that the clean that they did with the brush, the manual clean, wasn't sufficient, that they had to use a chemical clean. And they recommended to do that for $3,500. And I'm like, okay. I didn't get a video of anything, so I got a second opinion. So the second opinion came out and said, there is an issue with it. I don't think cleaning is going to be able to do it. So they didn't do any kind of mechanical work to the chimney, so they referred it out to another person who looked at the video and said that, yeah, cleaning it wasn't going to do it. They recommended relining it. So I'm like, okay. And then that's when the terms in which they wanted to do this, it wasn't acceptable at that point, because I really didn't like the way they wanted to do that. So that's when I came to you, Alan, and I said, this is what they're telling me. And then I hear from you about what could have happened. So as we talk about this, you know my situation. Say I went through and had that relined. What would have been a possible result of that?
And here's the negative effects about relining a masonry fireplace. First, you're now putting a new liner system that is going to be smaller than what your chimney system was. So by doing that, relining your chimney system, now you run into a problem of your wood is not drafting properly because now you've shrunk your chimney system, okay? And you just spent $5,500 relining your chimney, and now you have a non-working fireplace. Well, to solve that, you buy a gas insert.
Actually, if, say, I would have went with the other people to chemically clean it, and then I find out, well, that didn't work, spent the $3,500, then the other $5,500 to reline it, and then find out that it still doesn't work right, and then I go and I say, well, you know what, the only option I have to use this is to go with one of the inserts that you said. I would have been into this thing for nearly $9,000 and still would be no better off than I was before I walked through the door of your place.
That is correct. You would have been out $9,000, frustrated with your fireplace.
Mm-hmm.
Holiday season's coming. You got friends and family over, and you have a non-working fireplace.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have just bypassed that cleaning, that relining of that system for $9,000, and gone with a gas insert that comes with a liner system, a new cap system, remote control, a fan system, a new door.
You said LED Wi-Fi?
LED lights. You can get LED lights on these gas sensors. So in the summertime when you don't want heat, you can just illuminate the fireplace without heat. And they've come up with Wi-Fi technology. So if you want to control it with your iPhone, you certainly can. Alexa, you can connect it to your Wi-Fi.
Alexa, turn on my furnace. Or not my furnace, my fireplace. Turn on my fireplace, correct. Alexa.
Yeah, how fun is that?
That'd be cool.
And those systems will tell you when you need a cleaning. It actually monitors how much time you've used on it to say it's time to call Southwest Fireplace for a cleaning.
Yeah, like I said, the frustrating thing about it, and this is one of the reasons why I do the show, it's getting the proper information. You don't have to know everything. You just have to know something's not right. And let me check around. Let me do some research. Let me do that, because a little bit of legwork could save you a lot of money and headaches in the long run. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and talk a little bit more about chimneys and repair.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your...
Welcome back to the Prepare to Repair Show. I'm your host, Steve Suarez with RJ Graham Plumbing. Joining me is Alan Rutherford with Southwest Fireplace. And before the break, we were talking about wood-burning fireplace, my experience with mine, and how I did my research, was very patient and reserved on my actions on, how I was handling it. And I was able to spend the right money to get the right repair that was going to give me the best results. And we were talking off the air about, getting the right people and getting, the right information. And actually, one of a friend that I talked to on Facebook and also text message a lot, they were telling me they ran into the same issue where they just moved into a house and they had their chimney checked out, and they were told that there was issues with it, and they're unsure, they're uncertain. They're like, I got charged $175 for something, and I'm no better off than I was before. And yeah, I mean, people got to charge for their time, and that's fine. I get that, but there should be some sort of result. There should be some sort of, okay, here's what I have. I'm confident in what I've got. Here's what I have with instructions what to do next. So that chimney sweep, or that whatever you've done for that amount of money you spent, it should be able to get you in a direction. I mean, am I wrong in that assumption?
Steve, you're absolutely correct. You call in and you're looking for information on what your fireplace is. You should have some type of direction of, is it working properly? Is it safe? And what are my options if I want to do something else with this fireplace? When Southwest Fireplace comes out, we inspect it. We'll reassure you what is going on with your fireplace, how to use it, and provide options if you were looking for options on that fireplace. And that's where we go from there, providing gas logs if you wanted, just for ambiance, if you wanted a gas insert for heat. If you're looking to burn wood, you're missing a door on there, you should get a glass door put on your fireplace. Whatever you imagine your fireplace being for you and your family. So that's the first step. At least you should always have your fireplace checked out. That way you know what you're doing, your family's safe, and you get the right answers.
Okay, now when they say build up in there, okay, you got to get it cleaned on a wood burning fireplace. And safety, this is why I keep going over safety. This building up, I was told about the joints in a fireplace that if they start to wear, there could be issues. There's, depending on how they were built, I guess a newer way that they're building them are now better, and it eliminates some of the issues. But what happens? What makes these so dangerous with the other gentleman that I spoke about having an issue with his and with mine? What makes these so dangerous? I mean, you're at the fire, smoke goes up. I mean, you should be okay, right?
Yes, and that is correct. It's the byproduct of burning wood and creating creosote in your chimney systems. And if you don't get that creosote cleaned once a year, that could be potential fire. Once that stuff lights up, it is really impossible to get that to be extinguished out. So that's why you're always telling customers, once you're done burning for the year, you should always get your chimney sweep done in the springtime after you're completely done. That way you don't have odors or smells or that creosote stuck to your chimney walls. Because if you don't get that cleaned, that's a potential fire waiting to happen in your chimney system. So that's why you always want to get your chimney systems swept and clean.
So is that creosote, is that almost like a charcoal type of, is that what it gets like?
Correct. It's like a black charcoal, sappy.
Oh, okay.
That sticks to the walls. And that stuff's flammable. And if that lights up, then your chimney system's on fire.
Now, the old, the chimney liners that they made out of clay.
Correct.
They had joints in there, I guess. That's what they told me with mine. There's joints in there. And if that creosote gets inside those joints or it starts to burn, it can also seep outside that chimney liner and be a hazard to the house.
That's correct. So if that happens, then it's you have smoke penetrating through that clay system into your brick walls. And if that is damaged in any way, you should have that repaired. And by repairing that, your best option would be going with the gas insert, just because of the costs that are involved with relining it and the fact that you can't guarantee relining it that your fireplace is going to draft properly after you've done relining. So I've always recommended going with the gas insert for the money.
Right.
Well,
these are stone. I mean, these things are stone. They're structures onto the house. They're built as part of the house to actually, if you had to reline or not reline or even to rebuild it, say if you had any kind of fire damage within there, wouldn't you have to do some sort of rebuilding, or would you have to
tear it down?
Yeah,
you almost have to start over again.
Right.
And let's face it, it's a big task, a big job, and now you're stuck back to burning wood again, being inefficient, to where you just could have repaired it simply by putting in a new gas insert with a new liner system.
Well, the issue I have with that one to reline it, if you make the chimney narrow, now it's like, what, is Slim Fast Santa going to have to get down there? Because I mean, Santa's, he's not a thin guy. He has to be able to fit down there.
Sure.
And if you narrow it down, now he's got to get a little bit thinner.
Of course.
So Santa might have to have a membership at Lifetime or something like that to get himself in a little bit of shape before he gets down those narrow chimneys. But
no more cookies for Santa.
Exactly. So what is the newer liners, I mean, when they build houses, because they told me the clay liners because they have those gaps, what are they using on newer wood burning fireplaces for their chimneys?
You're seeing a lot now with new construction, new homes, that they're going to the prefabricated fireplaces, where they're not building masonry fireplaces anymore. They're doing man-made built prefabs with metal pipe systems. So you're seeing a lot more of that trend going that way. In fact, wood burning is starting to be obsolete. A lot of people are going directly to what they call a direct vent gas fireplace now over a wood burning fireplace.
Really?
In construction, I say 95% of all my jobs are now direct vents over wood burning fireplace.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. So I guess that that's the way to go. Now with the wood burning fireplaces being there, so basically the only option, like say, as these start to deteriorate, and it seems like it's not a matter of if, but when with these chimneys, it's going to happen with the way they're built. If
it's just
a
matter of time. It's just a matter of time before they start cracking, breaking, and falling apart.
Okay, so the cost-effective way would be now. And that's just, we're going to just go. Say they didn't know who, Southwest Fireplace was.
Right.
Say you were just an expert in the field and have done this for years. This is something that is going to happen.
Absolutely.
You would say this is something that's going to happen. So, and it's going to happen no matter what. So no matter if they went to you or they went to Southwest or they went whatever, this is something that they're going to wind up doing.
Correct.
Because of just it's the inevitability in the way the structures are built.
Correct.
And I didn't know this. I was just like, that's why I was looking at it. It just doesn't make any sense. Why would you build these if build it like that using that technology if there was there's no way of maintaining it. Two, it has a very short shelf life. I mean, the house that I have is like 15 years old. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's perplexed and
frustrating
as a homeowner. Absolutely. Yeah. You spent a lot of money building a masonry fireplace, or you purchased this house that has a masonry fireplace. And then you're putting all this money into fixing it so it will draft properly, or make sure that you don't have any seepage of wood coming through your chimney liner.
Okay.
So that's why you're seeing a lot of people opt out of the wood burning fireplaces to go directly to an efficient gas direct vent type fireplace.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back. I got a couple questions on chimneys and repairs, and then we're going to talk a little bit about those gas inserts and the efficiency of them.
Well, welcome back. Your dreams were your
Welcome back to the Prepare to Repair show. I'm your host, Steve Suarez, and back with me is Alan Rutherford with Southwest Fireplace in Frankfort. And before the break, we were talking about wood burning fireplaces, chimneys, and so forth. And we were talking about chimneys, and I wanted to ask, what kind of repairs do you do? Because just over the break, I was thinking about something. It's I got the information I got from just a couple people that do chimney sweeps, but where does anybody get information about fireplaces? I mean, I couldn't think of anybody off the top of my head because I see you all the time in Frankfurt. But where does anybody go?
It's there ain't many of us around anymore. It's more of a specialty company if you think about it. You've got several HVAC guys out there competing, but fireplaces, there's not many of us left. So to get the right information and the proper knowledge, you really need to search for our type of company, Southwest Fireplace, to get these answers. For the most part, it's
a dying art. Huh?
It really is. Not many people want to build masonry fireplaces anymore. They're looking for more efficiency, and just like our houses that we're building, they're well insulated, better windows, so they're looking for better fireplaces, better efficiency. Right. It's time consuming burning wood. It's dirty. It's messy. when you go to a gas direct vent fireplace, you can hit a switch on the wall, turn it on and off like a light.
It's convenient.
It's convenient. It's easy. It's safe. You don't have to worry about kids hurting themselves. You don't have to worry about embers popping out. So you're eliminating all these tasks that, quite frankly, we're all busy, and we would just want to enjoy the fireplace, turn it on. I want to go to bed. I want to turn it off.
Yeah, it's off. And you don't quite get the same feel as you do with the wood, though. I mean, I think that's the
Snap,
feel
crackle,
that people
pop.
have. Yeah. You can get Rice Krispies for that. But
there's always the fire pit outside.
There you go. Well, yeah, that you can do, and it'd be safer because it's outside.
Correct.
But as far as like repairs to chimneys or anything, do you guys do anything like that? What is the extent that you guys do anything?
So we will repair crowns if it's needed. A lot of times you'll see on these masonry fireplaces that the crowns will break and crack over time, causing water and leakage coming in. So a lot of times when we do our chimney sweeps and inspections, we are checking for your crown to make sure it's still in good shape. So that way you don't have water and moisture coming in. And let's face it, we're in a climate zone where it's hot, it's cold, it's freezing, and once you have a cracked crown, that water gets in there, it freezes up and starts breaking it off even more. So we'll repair crowns if as need be. As far as the liner inside that masonry fireplace, we highly recommend going with a gas insert just because we don't want to shrink your chimney system and putting a liner in. And we don't want you risking of having a fire that doesn't draft properly. And once you put these liners in, you're shrinking that opening and you spend a ton of money, and we can't guarantee that your fireplace is going to draft properly. So for that type of money, you always go to a gas insert just because of what you're getting. You're getting a remote control system. You're getting a fan system. You're getting a brand new door. You're getting it relined. It's safe now. You're using it 100 times more than you would ever use a wood-burning fireplace. And that's kind of where you look at these things once you start diving into a masonry fireplace.
Now, when we get into, the gas fireplaces, you've got the pros and the cons of, like I said, the wood burning. And, it's, like I said, I didn't know a lot of I've learned way more about these than I thought I would. I mean, I'm a plumber by trade. I usually get called out because the gas line to the fireplace, to the log lighter or whatever, is having an issue. And more often than not, they put those nice little key valves in the brick of the fireplace, which, yes, I mean, and if they fail or have an issue, now you've got to open that up, or they're in a wall. And if they're in a drywall, that's a little bit easier to deal with. But when they're in brick, or sometimes I've seen where they ran it where the valve was easy to get to, but the line from the valve through the brick fireplace into the log lighter that they put in was run in a soft, flexible copper.
That's correct.
Which, that's not legal, and that's not safe.
That's not so cold.
Yeah.
I found that copper wears down.
Right.
And if you ever see copper gas line inside a fireplace, by code, we have to replace that copper gas line. And just as you mentioned, sometimes that valve is located in that brick. And how do you get that? How do you get that brick valve out of that brick? So it's a difficult chore. It's expensive because now you're breaking up brick, you're running a new gas line, and you have to repair that brick. So it's an expensive.
Exactly. And when you deal with that, as far as, like I said, the brick is, it's, you got to match it up.
And that's the other problem. Is trying to match it up is you can't find that brick. So you're almost doing a whole new reface on that fireplace. So a simple gas valve inside the brick wall turns into a project where you're refacing that fireplace.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We're having a little technical difficulty here, and we'll be right back with Alan with Southwest Fireplace.
The Dave Ramsey Show, where common sense meets dollars and cents.
Patrick in Texas says, my wife thinks we should have an emergency credit card. How can I explain to her that this is a terrible idea? Well, the last time on earth that you need to go into debt at 18% interest would be at a time when your family has an emergency. What you need is money. If you had $20,000 set aside for an emergency fund, you wouldn't need an emergency credit card, right?
He's back. Dave Ramsey on WJOL. Weeknights at 6.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out.
The Repair Show. Welcome back to the Prepare to Repair Show. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. We couldn't hear Alan. How you doing, Alan? You got us?
I'm back.
Oh, there we go. I don't know what happened, but that's all right. But we were talking about the location of these gas valves in some of these older fireplace and actually getting to them. So it's just, a lot of times we're finding out, like you were saying, the most cost-effective solutions with some of these older units may be to go with the upgrade, like you said. I like to go with surefire ways when I do something. I like to go with, I can try this, but this may or may not work. The problem with trying that is, like I said, $8,000 or $9,000 to try. Okay, and then you're already into that with, say if you did the chemical cleaning, like in my instance, the chemical cleaning and the relining to try. Whereas, okay, this is how much it is to, I can guarantee this. It's a different look. You have to see if this is what you want, but it's different, but it'll give you pretty much on all it'll check 8 out of the 10 things on your box.
That's correct.
Which, honestly, I don't think that's a lose. I don't think that is at all,
Yeah, well, you not get the snap, crackle, pop like a wood-burning fireplace. Yeah, you won't get that. But it does check all the boxes as far as being able to use it, being safe with your family.
Right.
Which is always, I think, a top priority for anyone and with a fireplace. The efficiency, the ease and comfort of using that fireplace. And getting back to that valve in the brick wall, if that is something that you have to replace, you have to run a new gas line as another alternative.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to run that through the ash chute, So then you're running this gas line up through the ash chute of a masonry fireplace. But then you can't burn wood in there because you got a gas line running in there with a valve that typically is needed to turn that gas line on. So a lot of times you'll see once you do have that type of problem, you'll go to a gas insert or you'll go to some gas logs for your solution.
Yeah, you have to do something like that. Now, what you were saying is, and this is something that I thought was, let me ask you this. I would say and this is a homeowner question, what I would ask is having a fireplace, a wood-burning fireplace like this, what would be, in your estimation, out of all the people that have wood-burning fireplaces, that have them clean, what would be the percentage of ones that, when they go out there, there's an issue with them?
Well, I can nitpick every fireplace if I needed to.
Right.
I would say majority of the time I give it a 50-50.
Really?
Give it 50-50. It's either your damper's worn out. It's worn out of time, or your crown, it's cracked. We got to address that. Your firebox walls are deteriorating, and that needs tuck pointing. We run into that copper gas line situation in the fireplace, and then we have to flag that. So you got to get that removed. A missing cap. You see that quite a bit, when customers call in. It's like, I got water coming to my fireplace. Well, we got a missing cap on top. So there's always something you can nitpick, but for the majority of the time, I'd say 50% of the time, there's always something that could be done and it needs to be addressed.
And this is not saying that, hey, they're going to come out there and upsell. Correct. What I'm saying is from a safety standpoint, there is, because of the way these are built, it's just, and the design and the way that they're used are going to be susceptible to having this type of wear, this type of issues that are going to come about. And I didn't know that. I mean, again, I don't know anything about these. I'm learning. So when you figure out, or when you're learning this stuff and you're kind of sifting through all this information you're getting, like I was, it's like, okay, it's one of those designs that are, as long as you understand it's going to be a short-term design, it's going to require, it may not have a long shelf life. So
just like any house, you're always going to have maintenance.
Right.
Something's always going to have to be changed out, a roof, windows, and fireplace is no different from any of those. As far as longevity and use, it needs to be cleaned. If you clean it properly every year, you're going to get a longer a time out of it. But it's the maintenance that we sometimes forget about fireplaces, and that really need to be done on a yearly basis.
And the gas fireplaces, the gas inserts, like I said, they've come a long way. Now, as far as cleanings on those, what is the time frame, or how often are those cleaned?
Well, manufacturer is always going to tell you to maintain your fireplace with anything that you buy. It's like an appliance.
Okay.
Think about it as like a furnace or an air conditioner. You get those checked out once a year. Tune-ups, cleanings, right?
Okay.
Well, think about what a gas insert is. It's a mini furnace that we're putting into your fireplace. And you want to get that maintained and cleaned once a year. You're cleaning out the burners. You're cleaning the pilot system off. You're cleaning the glass. You're making sure your gas pressure is good. Little things like this, done on a regular basis, will help you have longevity on a product such as this, just like a furnace or air conditioner.
Now, what are the BTUs for these type of units on average?
BTUs on high, 40,000 BTUs. On low, you're typically around 16,000 BTUs.
Okay.
So put it in terms of a furnace is anywhere from 80 to 100,000 BTUs.
Okay.
So these are half a furnace that you're getting for your home. Instead of losing that heat, all of a sudden now you've completely turned a 180 on your fireplace production, where it's now flowing heat back into your house. And let's face it, my wife's always cold, and she always likes to have a nice warm fire going. So they're wonderful. It takes that chill off in there. It's a really nice product.
That's what I was going to say. It takes a bite out of the air. And one thing you mentioned over the break that kind of, and we were actually touched on a little bit here while we were talking, was the fact that there are not too many of companies like yours that deal with those. So basically what's happening is the ones that are being installed are similar to what you're saying, but they're probably different brands that are out there. Builders are installing them, or they're being installed in new homes. So they're putting these in. Then the homeowner's just left to fend for themselves, to deal with the manufacturer on it, deal with any warranty or anything like that. They don't have anybody that, hey, Ed, this was bought from here, this is somebody I have a go-to on. They're just going to deal with whatever manufacturer that's there.
Yeah, you're seeing that quite a bit. I know with the product that we're installing for our builders, if they ever have to lean on someone, they always get to call us, and we'll deal with the warranty, the manufacturer, and we'll provide that service to maintain that fireplace under the warranty system. Most of the time, a lot of the builders, they send their customers into us anyways. They already know what they're getting. It's just the maintenance they don't follow up on or don't get the knowledge on once they buy a house and they just moved in. They don't realize that these fireplaces have to be maintained on a yearly basis, and that's just kind of touching bases with anything with your furnaces and air conditioners, and they all need maintenance. So it's something that you always should be following up on.
There's a lot of people that don't do that, and it's imperative, especially on a gas-fired appliance, that you should have them checked out and serviced. We have a couple of folks that are friends to the show that do HVAC, and that's the one thing that they harp on. They stress on it. I say that about your water heater. Have it serviced, have it checked out. Even tankless units, have them checked out, because these units require maintenance in order for you to get maximum efficiency out of them and maximum life expectancy.
That is correct.
Now,
100%.
We've talked about the bad side about all the things with fireplace, the worrisome side. Okay, now, and everyone loves the snap, crackle, and pop of a wood burning fireplace, and we're now finding out there's a downside to that. I'm learning a little bit about that. Now, the gas ones that now you're finding they're a lot more efficient. They're a viable option, a good option to provide a heat source. Now, what about the look, the bling, the whole ambiance that you can get from that? Whereas, okay, I'm going head to head with this wood burning fireplace that I have there, and I love this. This gives me, this. You know what you're going to get with that.
Correct.
Okay, you're going to get the whole chestnuts roasting on an open fire type deal. That all the tradition on that. What am I getting with this? What kind of look am I going to get?
That's a good question, Steve. Let's think about that wood fireplace that you have. And you see how dirty those walls are, and charred and ash is all in that fireplace. So you have a really dirty look, but you got that snap, crackle, pop, and you got that real fire going. But with these gas inserts, they're clean. You'll have a brick look inside there. You'll have detailed, orientated logs in your fireplace. You'll have a robust flame system, orange flames, so we're able to adjust up and down. And you do have, on some of these, have LED lights that enhance that rich fire look inside your fireplace. And once you see these operate, you almost forget about that dirty, dingy-looking fireplace, and that you have to clean that ash out the next day and get the garbage can out and clean the hearth off, because now you have something I can just turn off and I have no mess to clean. So I'll definitely take the latter of the look of clean, efficient, and no dirty mess, no creosote. No wood chips around the hearth after a wood burn night.
And they're not all that expensive. I mean, if you really, depending on what you have and what you're going with and what you choose, they're not all that expensive considering on what I would almost had to go through just to get mine operational, and even to the point where it may not have operated properly.
Correct.
So
on the low end, you can get one of these starting off at $4,500. On the high end, you're looking about $8,000. So we have a wide range of,
well, obviously every house is going to be different as far as install on it, but yeah, I mean look at where I was to just. I'm finding out that it wouldn't have worked. Again, I'm harping on that. Right?
Yeah, well, sure. I know you're frustrated with that one.
Yeah, exactly, and it's really aggravating that. Now, I'm going to ask you this. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Sure.
If you had to pick a negative of the, we obviously know the negative of the wood burning. If you had to pick a negative side of the gas fireplace, the gas insert, what would you say the negative side?
It's always going to be the authentic snap, crackle, and the real flame look of what a wood burns, right? I usually tell my customers, I sometimes have that caveman gene, me man make fire, mentality. Right. I got to, play with the fire and poke it, and always kind of messing with the fire in the evening, right? Right. So you don't get that aspect of it. So that I'd say the authenticity of a natural wood burning would be the only drawback with the gas inserts. But once you have a gas insert, you change your mind really quickly because of no more mess, no more fuss. The smell afterwards, the house smelling like wood, smoke in the next morning, that quickly dissipates once you have a gas insert.
And the durability on them?
Long term, you're seeing these for 20 years.
Really?
So you'll have.
You just got to maintain them.
Just maintain them, just like anything else.
Okay. So if people want to reach out to you at Southwest Fireplace, how do they get a hold of you?
Sure. You can reach us at 815-806-9700. You can talk to any one of our trained staff. They have the knowledge to help you out in any situation that you may need.
And where are you located where you are?
Yes, I am located in Frankfort, Illinois. We're 9475 West Laraway Road, Frankfort, Illinois. We serve the Chicagoland area. We have a store in Palos Park. We have a store in Aurora. So you'll be able to find any store to service your area very properly.
Awesome. I want to thank you for being on the show. You've been informative, answered a lot of my questions, and not only that, but you helped save me a lot of money on that, and I'm thankful to you for giving me the information that I needed. And I want to thank everybody. I want to let everybody know that if you want to reach out to us here at the show, you can feel free to text us at 708-964-5500, or you can reach us online at our new website, preparetorepair.com. Until then, we will see you next week, and we got some more guests for you next week.
Will County's News Talk Sports, 1340. WJOL.